It's just gonna be what it's gonna be. My name is Ashley. People call me AJ. My teammates just call me AJ. I'm a coach. Don't use your emotions and reactions to justify or satisfy an urge or need. I want to help people not just cope with being single, but like I said, build the best version of themselves while they're single. It takes practice, support, getting through the pain of becoming single, and what lasts as long as it takes to really look at yourself and become clean. It's going to take forever if you don't want to put the focus and attention on you. You feel me? If you put this on everybody else, it's going to take you forever to really get to the bottom of your problem. And you're going to date one person after another. And eventually the same stuff is going to keep happening. Same problem. She got the same attitude. He got the same attitude. He don't trust you. She don't trust you. Or y'all argue or whatever the case might be. Whatever the situation is. You see a pattern, right? And you think it's other people, and it's not. It's you. You're the one traveling to new relationship after new relationship. It's you. It's you. It takes time to really look at yourself, to keep it real, be honest about the mistakes you made, y'all, the things you missed, the things you didn't realize, things you weren't aware of. Trust me, I don't even want to go back to college and even high school when I was married just to think about some things that I missed, all right? Because of, like Eve said, love is blind, and it'll take over your mind. And what you think is love is true or not. You need to elevate and find. That's true though. But love is blind. And like Tina Turner said, what love got to do with it? That's real. All right? Love don't got nothing to do with us being stupid. All right? Nothing to do with it. Us being emotionally out of control. That has nothing to do with love, okay? Nothing to do with love. You can call it that. You can call it that. That's anger mixed with love. That's a shot of anger. That's a pint of anger. You know, with a splash of Coke, which is, it's not love. All right. You know, to just pay attention to things you didn't realize, the things you didn't notice about yourself, or the situations you found yourself in. This conversation is needed. That's why I'm doing this. This conversation is needed. People need to know it's happening to all of us in a different way. We all have or will experience the pain of love and wanting to love, and the failed expectations of our perspectives of what love and relationships are. We can find a way to enjoy this process and release our expectations of others and focus more on what we can control, and that's our own happiness, right? That's our own happiness. This is something most people, and me as well, never understood until now, that I can figure out how to make myself happy, right? This is true. I'm not just reading this. I wrote this, okay? But I figured out how to make myself happy. This is something most people, and me as well, I never understood it, right? I never understood or figured out how to make myself just as happy as I was in my highest moments in a relationship while I'm single. Because that's what we all want. You want to be able to experience that joy, that love, that excitement while you're not in a relationship. Because if you have to be in a relationship to experience that, oh my gosh, what are you going to do while you're single? Be miserable? No, we're not about to be miserable. I'm not about to do that. I've been there before. I ain't trying to. We're not about to be miserable now. I've done this by falling in love with myself and who I want to be. I learned my passion to inspire young people to find life purpose during this process. I did. How do you define being single? How do you define being single, Ash? Or you, audience? Tell me. That's good. That's good. Well, I think single in my perspective is when you are strictly focused on fixing your own life, getting your own life together for the better. On another hand, the culture I live in, people don't necessarily go this route completely while single, as I did at first. I considered not being in a committed relationship single. I didn't understand that there are other ways to avoid being entirely single, meaning you can be physically single, but still be in a mental and emotional relationship with several people, filling different emotional and physical needs. And this aspect, I don't think it's possible to be single, still having sex or entertaining potential situations, as you aren't totally alone with yourself. I'm going to read that again. Yes, you heard me say it. No, I'm not a saint. I'm not perfect. But in this aspect, I didn't understand that there are other ways to avoid being entirely single. Meaning you can be physically single, but still, or you can be emotionally and mentally single and still be physically in a relationship, or mentally or emotionally in a relationship with not just one person, but several people. When you texting people, what do you think that is? That's conversation. Where does that conversation go? In your brain, in your feelings, in your body, in your thoughts. I don't know what makes people think that just texting people is just texting people. You're talking. To me, that's a little intimate. I mean, not intimate like that, depending on what you're talking about. You know what I mean? But that's intimate. To be having intimate conversations with several people. If you're saying good morning, sweetie, to 5 different women, okay, something wrong with that. And if you're a female saying good morning or letting 5 other dudes tell you good morning, something wrong with that, okay? I've been there, and I'm saying this to myself. There's something wrong with that. I had to say Ash. There's something wrong with a bunch of dudes texting you in the morning. And there's something wrong with you wanting to text a couple dudes and tell them good morning. Not saying I've done that all the time, but I mean, maybe in a couple of instances with more than one person. Everybody got like, I gotta have me a couple options. Now that we got all this social media, yeah, you're gonna have you a couple options to not be in love, to not truly have a connection. That's options. Come on. Children need options, all right? Not saying you shouldn't have choices. Options, no. You got options. Options are built in. You got choices, though. At the end of the day, you need to start making good choices. What do you feel other people around you believe being single means? Man, a lot of different things. I promise you. I know you probably, what do you think? I know your cousin, your brother, your auntie, your boyfriend. Maybe y'all do agree, but I already know that if you ask anybody around you, like, yo, how do you define being single? Just ask somebody you know. How do you define being single? And matter of fact, you tell me, send me a video in, tell me how do you define being single? Or comment below and say, yo, this is what I think being single means. Tell me. I want to know your perspective. But like, through my experience, we generally aren't used to being entirely alone. Like not entertaining anyone in this day and age is rare. Like, because of social media, like I said, and phones, and people are so accessible now. People didn't used to be this accessible. You actually had to get people phone numbers back in the day. Like now, Facebook Messenger, you don't have to have people's number. You just need to know their name. You can call them. You just know their name. You can call them. That trips me out. If your page is public, you can call, whatever. But people are so accessible. More accessible than they've ever been, making it even harder. Like I said, when we talk about these options, they're not options. You always have choices. They're not options. They're disguised as options. They're choices. They're just choices. It's like you have anyway. Options, and some people get it confused. I think when you think you have options, you think you have more to choose from. You don't. It's always a choice. It's always a choice. You make it the best choice. You don't be like, oh, this person makes my choice good. No, you make it a best choice. Sometimes it's just not the best choice for you. It's the best choice you can make at the time. Sometimes it's just what it is. You choose the wrong person. It happens, right? Most of the time when you find yourself single, you do things to keep yourself from thinking about not being with someone. And you do things like partying, drinking, working, just trying to stay busy. In another phase of singleness, I found myself trying to reverse my own perspective by telling myself it's better not to be in a relationship. How many people have done that? Tell yourself, I'm not ready. I like being single. It's cool being single. Not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but saying it for the wrong reason, saying it because you really resent it and you just don't want to look stupid. You don't want people to think you really don't like being single. You want people to feel like you're enjoying it because you don't want to look lonely, basically, but you are. You're pretending not to be lonely for other people, and they're probably lonely. How does that's usually how it is. We think so much about other people and they be thinking the same thing about us, and they be trying to hide the same stuff we hide. I was free to do my own thing. I found myself trying to reverse my own perspective by telling myself it's better not to be in a relationship. I was free to do my own thing with whomever I chose and whenever I wanted to because I could. So I learned this type of thinking comes with a cost. It does. It comes with a cost, right? I eventually learned I had no commitment to myself. I didn't value how I did things. I didn't know why I was doing things other than the fact that I was grown and I could. How many of y'all think like that? I'm grown. I can do what I want to do. Of course we are. Dummy. You gonna be so grown that you get hurt? You hurt yourself over and over again because you want to do it? No. That's what we do emotionally with love and people and relationships and all that. We do that, right? I eventually learned I had no commitment to myself. I've had many conversations, and most people think being single is either a time to fish for a new relationship, or other people think, like me now, becoming a greater person until something naturally happens, right? That's really what it's about. How long have you been single, Ashley? Started dating at 14. I was married in 2002 at 18. Divorced in 2004. My last committed relationship ended in 2009. My last physical relationship ended in February 2016. My last emotional relationship ended in 2018. What has been your process to find peace with being single right now or in moments where you feel alone? Give us an example. Ooh. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be.